Alright, we should be live. Hold on 1 second, guys. Alright, okay. Let me go in real quickly get the stream pulled up. Okay. Alright, just give me a second, guys. Having to get everything pulled up and situated. Alright, okay, so here we are. Let me go in real quickly and make the announcement to my Discord server. Now, this stream is, partly, I've been wanting to do a stream like this where, I kind of do more mapping related content. I don't want to, completely convert my channel to just, mapping and stuff like that. But, I do want to, have somewhat mapping on the server and stuff like that, if you kind of get what hey, what's up, Marge? So, yeah. Now, there is a lot of debates and a lot of questions as to what would happen. And I planned on making a video, but, okay, a video, I think it'd be better, but at the same time, not. Because I think a stream would get more views, as of right now. And I also, too, think that making a video, I'm just, I'm out of it right now. It'd just be easier to stream. So, more videos like this, more videos and streams like this will probably proceed. It won't be as much. This will be, a kind of a special occurrence. But it'll be similar to that the Poland series, where we basically... Oh my gosh, my cat is my cat is chewing on my wires. So, sorry if I kind of, complain about my cat. I have to basically just grab the cat and just get it off the wires. Oh my gosh, yeah. Got a new kitten, and oh boy, that thing is just it loves to play with cords. But yeah. So I'm gonna go in real quickly and get it set up here. Now some of you guys might not necessarily be interested in mapping content, and that's okay if you aren't. But I still recommend to stick I kind of stick around and listen to the stream. Please add a background or something. It's pretty boring. Oh, yeah, no. Okay. I definitely, yeah, no. I need to add a background to this. But, yeah, so even if you guys aren't really into that mapping that much, which I know a lot of my viewers aren't. They're more just here to see the streams and the active wars. I would recommend listening to this as, it still is pretty interesting. I kind of like more of the visual effects of it. So let me go and real quickly get everything set up. I need to get all my tools ready. So, in a video, this would probably look a lot better because I could crop, all of this out. But, we're doing a stream, so it's going to look a lot less professional. But, yeah, we're still going to do it like that. So, on the main server, I will kind of give some background real quick. On the main server, we had the German Austrian Empire. Now, they were, the second biggest empire. This is, as you can see, their size on the map. So they are represented by the color red. Oh, but I just realized, okay, so this stuff over here, that's not a part of them. I don't even know what happened over here, bro. Something happened. You know what? I'm just gonna real quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of, oh my gosh, my cat. Oh my god, it keeps just, it is being annoying right now. I love cats, but this cat, it's just really getting on my nerves. Alright, okay, so I'm gonna get rid of some of this. Yeah, sorry, I thought I had cleaned up most of the map, but I don't want a lot of, I don't want to mess right now. Can I not just, there we go. That should be that color. And then there's this pinkish kind of purple. Let me go and get this. The world, my cat is making a weird noise right now. I don't know if you can hear it. It is weird. I don't even think I've ever heard my cat make... It's this low growling. Hey, kitty, are you okay? Oh my god, I don't have to end the stream because of my cat. Can you tell me what's happening on the server? Because I don't have that much time to rewatch all the streams. So basically, this content is about the old server. And I don't think we should have ended the old server, but oh well. The old server, I don't know. It was hard to advertise because all the OGs didn't want to play it because they were bored. And all the new players didn't want to play it because the OGs would bully them. So I think the new server is good, but I'm still going to cover a lot of content about the old server. Because the old server's history was never really, fully discussed in great detail. Yeah, so this video is about the German Austrian Empire. Now, I am going to... Okay, I have 6 cats and a dog. I have 3 cats and I have a dog, but the dog stays outside and the cats stay inside. Our neighborhood, it's not really like cat friendly. Now you might be able to hear my cat in the background. I have two of the kitties in my room. So this territory over here, you know what? I mean, I'll make it red, but I might actually just make this a dark red. So yeah, so everything in red and dark red, as you can see right here, is a part of the German-Austrian Empire. So this stuff in the bright red, this is the core German territories. Now on the realm, Germany, Austria, they got really big and powerful by taking advantage. Oh my God, kitties, stop fighting, dear Lord. So the German-Austrian Empire, they got pretty. What in the? Okay, guys, like I don't want to have to end the stream or like interrupt it. My cat is making some mad weird noises right now, like. I don't know, he's bugging right now. But anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna have to keep these guys under control. Probably shouldn't have done the stream with them in my room, but my parents are already asleep. I can't like put them in their room. So yeah, on the server, the German-Austrian Empire, they got pretty strong and pretty big and powerful. Now, their big military, I'm gonna be honest, bro, it did nothing. Like, it was only seen in action once, and even then, their military, when it was in action, it like. They didn't even know they were in the middle of a war, so it performed pretty badly. Now, in this scenario, this is going to be a hypothetical. Put your cat in the box, yeah. So this is going to be a hypothetical. We are going to assume that the German-Austrian Empire and, you know, all the other countries' empire, or like all the other countries' like militaries, we're going to assume that they are 100% mobilized, like everybody's on, everybody's ready. So I do want to point out though, all of this stuff that isn't colored in, this is all unclaimed territory. Should be able to tell which parts are colored in. I don't know if you'll really have much trouble with that, but yeah. So we are going to be taking a look at a hypothetical. I trapped my cats in a small. That's mean. Kitty, get off my back. Dear Lord, my cat's messing with my backpack now. Bad kitty. No, your messages are sending. I haven't gotten around to answering the first one. So, on this though, oh boy, what was I in the middle of saying? Man, I completely forgot what I was about to say. So, this is the most accurate server map I think really anyone can draw. This is Poland, you know, you got Oceran, Mongolia, this is the SSM, Pog, Radkin, West Korea, the United Soviet Spawn Republic, Jungos, Fallen, Russia, Khalsa, BDR, WSS, Vendaya, German-Austrian Empire, Basilisk, and Fallen. I might have already said Fallen. Yeah, but that's basically it. Now, there might have been a few cards. There might have been a few countries I didn't include. Up here there's 2. Plantera and Linsvagia. Now there might have been a few that they might not be displayed on the map, so I'm sorry about that. But we're not. If they're not displayed on the map, they're probably not even really that important, anyways. So yeah. Now we are going to be taking a look at a hypothetical. Like everyone's mobilized, everyone's ready. Now the German-Austrian Empire, like their military was technically the strongest. They had 40 to 50 people. Like actually, I think it was probably 40. Like actually whitelisted on the server, and while all these people were kitted out, they like never got on. Like they got on like once to grind for netherite, but they literally never did anything. Like that is one thing about the German-Austrian Empire. They were huge and massive. They would have probably done a lot if it wasn't for the fact that like I don't really know what the fact was. I mean, they probably would have done a lot, but they never were fully like invaded or attacked like en masse, so they never had a need to activate their full military. But yeah. So answering your questions, what are the oldest, 3 oldest nations? On this, the oldest, like, nations that, like, never changed, never got overthrown, never any of that, it would probably have to be, okay, I need to change my brush with, this brush is, yeah, I'll change it probably later on. Okay, so the oldest nation definitely gotta be, well, I don't know if like a name change and leader change count. Technically, the USSR would be, okay, if we're talking about like countries that haven't had a change in leadership, surprising, it'd probably be the USSR, Fallen, and Basilisk. Those would be the oldest. But if we're talking just like the country, it might have had a few changes in leadership and like regime. It would be Frostland. This was called Marmland, but this would just be called Jungos. And the Nether Empire up here. That would be it. Yeah. That'd be it. Dear Lord, Cuttlewave, you must live on like a ranch or something. But yeah. So, we're now going to get into the hypotheticals. Oh yeah, I did also forget. The BDR is here. Now, here's the thing, alright? So, the time, I mean, basically, we're picking up from where the server ended and from where the server got reset. This is the current world borders. So, we basically have, like, I mean, kind of an interesting scenario happening. I'm not going to be making them all fight Germany Jungos at once. It's going to be kind of a slow, not slow, but it's more of going to be, like, it's going to be, like, they might expand a little bit and then they get into the Great War. So, these nations, I mean, kind of taking a look at this, not really too much is probably going to happen. I mean, in the BDR, I could see the Polish making some advances on the island. So I might actually go and real quickly display it. Well, oh, that's still a really big brush. Yeah, I'm having to get used to this. Oh, there's a site called paint.net. A lot of like these mapping kind of YouTubers, they use this site. So yeah. So we basically have the invasion. I'll probably just end up using, let's see, like what's a good, maybe, I mean, I don't know, I might just end up using this, actually. This, well, no, that's the same country as Germany, Austria. Yeah, I didn't really get, like, what colors I would use in the meantime, so, bet you, I'll probably just end up using dark red for now. Just keep in mind, though, the dark red's not the same as the dark red that, like, the other dark red. I mean, I know no one cares anyways, so I'll probably, no, I'll go and keep it. So, yeah. So, we have, everything basically picking off. The German-Austrian Empire, I mean, while they are, everybody has suddenly logged onto the server. Everyone's gonna stay logged on. Like, this is like, everyone's on, everyone's grinding. People leave very minimally, but in general, this is like, their entire military is active at all times. So, the German-Austrian Empire has a huge military, like 40 to 50 personnel. So, it's gonna take a while for them to all get situated, all get sorted out, and for everything to happen. So the German-Austrian Empire, they're kind of just sitting here. There is leaked plans for them to invade Russia and potentially invade Poland. And these countries are starting to get a bit worried because, Germany's kind of eyeing them up. They're even starting to eye up Tulsa. They seem like they kind of want to push the border back a little bit more. So these countries, they basically end up forming, okay, so yeah, I'll go and do like a, I wonder, yeah, what a dark blue, I'm trying to see, does anyone... Oh, darn, that country down there is a dark blue. You know what? Screw your color down here. Like, you don't need to have this color. Like, oh, man, I don't know what does anyone have that color? Oh, my God. Like, I know there's a lot of colors, but it's hard finding a, like an actual, like, genuinely good color. Yeah, I don't think anyone has solid yellow. Yeah, we'll just go with that. So, yeah. These countries over here, they basically, here, I'll just, like, click off that. Alright, okay. So these countries over here, they're starting to get really worried about like a potential kind of German invasion. And so they think, we might need to do something. So they all, oh boy, so yeah. All of these countries enter, wait, hold on, I kind of got the outline. I wasn't supposed to do that. Alright, okay. So yeah. Okay, wait, hold on, actually. I might have to, okay, yeah, there we go. So all these countries basically enter in onto one big alliance. It kind of looks like it's going into the ocean. I might actually change the coloring just a slight bit. Alright, okay. So, well, ooh, that, okay, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Soft echo, you should mute your phone. Alright, okay, yeah, good point. Alright, okay. So, these countries enter in under one big alliance. They call it the kind of like Sand/Mesa Alliance. They'd probably just end up calling it the Desert League or something, like the Desert Alliance. They claim that this alliance is being formed just for desert security, but, I mean, in reality, like, we all know what this is being for. They're kind of starting to fear Germany. Germany is starting to get some fortifications. They're like watchtowers, outposts, even some military camps along the border. However, they don't make any military encampments along Poland, as Poland, I do want to point out, there is a huge mountain range right here. So Poland has the advantage. Like, if they put any military camps, like, these would just be compromised. So, while they do have some military installments, they're significantly farther away from the fallen mainland. So, yeah. And now, we have an interesting thing happening as well. Khalsa and Russia are now starting to begin the process of potential unionization. Now, this hasn't happened just yet. But Khalsa, you know, they're kind of looking at Russia, and they realize there's not really too much differences. I mean, their biomes are different, but Russia has a very small population. Khalsa also has a small population, but they do want to be more united and better prepared to take on a German invasion. So the two basically are starting to make more military and economic guarantees, and are even allowing troops to, you know, go to each other's borders and to set up military camps. So yeah. Now, over here, I mean, I don't think Poland is going to stop invading the BDR, like by any means. Like, Poland, you know, they're over here like, we don't got to worry about anything. So, Polish troops, you know, what in the world? I accidentally opened up my files. So, yeah, Polish troops over here, they basically get the go-ahead, and they're seeing that Germany, you know, they're seeing Germany is starting to, slowly militarize, and to slowly start to begin the process. They might start to make an empire. And so Poland, you know, they don't want to be, you know, distracted in all these wars. Because keep in mind, Poland is still invading Khalsa. However, this front hasn't moved. Like, literally nothing has happened here. And, I mean, they still are invading the BDR. So Poland is thinking, you know, they just want to end these fronts as quickly as possible to get all their soldiers home and to get everything, like, prepped and ready. So Poland basically sends 100% of their military, and they launch a small offensive over here, with the goal of kind of cutting off the BDR. Do so successfully. They take over this kind of western peninsula over here. They slowly snake along the coast as they begin taking basically like some ports and stuff. And I mean, this is basically accomplished by a few battles. I mean, not really like a whole lot changes. The BDR army is slowly starting to be destroyed. However, the Soviet Union, you know, they're seeing Germany's expansion. And the Soviet Union realizes something too. They also want to end all these fronts as well. So, you know, the Soviet Union, they're kind of, they want these fronts to end as quickly as possible. Like, they don't want, you know, I mean, they don't want these fronts to continue. So, oh boy, I don't even know what color this is, bro. Wait, is this, okay, yeah, that is the color. Alright, okay. So, we have Soviet BDR, and I mean, just a ton of allied troops. They enter, and they begin to basically liberate, and they're basically doing like just a immediate, like, just reverse invasion, like trying to take over this. However, they don't really try and take this over. Like, they don't really prioritize this kind of western land. Instead, they start to put, like, I mean, just more fortifications. And, you know, both Poland and both the Soviet Union, they are pouring a heavy amount of resources into this. Like, it's not even funny at this point. They are basically spending almost their entire economies just trying to end these fronts. Because, you know, they want to kind of assert dominance and kind of assert their power before Germany starts the kind of imperialization. But eventually, the two, they finally meet, and they discuss a peace treaty in Oblast, the capital of the Soviet Union. And they come to an interesting deal where basically, so this map, I'll go and show it right here, bro. I don't know what color like Poland is right now. Like, they're a mad goofy color. I wonder if there's like a way to select a color. Wait, move selected pixels now. Is there like a way to just magic wand? What does this do, bro? Is that like that? Okay, that, bro. I have no clue what I'm doing here. I am not very, like, acquainted with all this stuff. Alright, okay, so yeah, we're just gonna go back to the paintbrush. We'll kind of just, okay, so I bet you what we'll end up doing. So, basically, they finally end this war. Oh my god, yeah, no, I didn't want to go to paintbrush. I want to go to recolor. So, they finally agree they're gonna end this war. And BDR is allowed to keep all of this. The rest of this is gonna be occupied. However, after the kind of after they figure out what to do with the Germans, this will most likely either resume, or it could end up turning into like a Korea/Vietnam situation, where there's like a North BDR and a South BDR. There could end up like two BDRs, or Poland could like end up completely annexing this. So yeah, we have this front ending, and we have all Polish, Soviet, and BDR troops finally returning, and finally getting ready for what's to come. So anyways, Now, over here, kind of near Khalsa and Russia, they finally start to make the process of unionization. And, okay, I want to see what... Okay, yeah, I got it selected on that color. I need to find... What color is this? Wait, was it this color? No, bro. Oh, my gosh. No, I don't want to select secondary. Primary. No! Primary is going to be that. Okay, yeah, wait. Okay, wait, no, hold on. This color is, like, slight... I'm trying to find what color... Nah, it was definitely not that. Was this color? Nah, definitely... Wait. What did I use? Like, I'm genuinely being so serious. Like, because this color is slightly different. And I don't want it kind of overlapping like that. I mean, was it like this? Nah. Alright, sorry guys, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm in the middle of this just trying to figure out what color I'm using. Alright, that's too dark. I mean, you know what? I'll probably end up just changing the color because I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to have to figure out what color I was using. That's going to take forever. So yeah, we'll just kind of... Yeah, we'll just probably end up doing that. Alright, okay, so... Yeah, they slightly changed their colors just because I like Minecraft lore, so me. Yeah, okay. So anyways, we have the Russians and the Khalsans. You know, they're over here. They finally agree to unionize. All of their governments finally sign everything, and it's official. The Khalsan-Russian Union. Now, in the past, I mean, these two, they're very close to each other, so it's like there's not too much of a difference. However, Khalsa is kind of run by like a king, and you know, Russia is more of a democratic society. So they do implement, I mean, some new procedures, and Khalsa for the most part is oh boy, that is not what I meant to do. And for the most part, Khalsa actually does receive quite a bit of reforms, which makes the Khalsan government actually like a lot of people start to more of like approve of the Khalsan government. So oh boy, I'm trying to like get rid of some of these like imperfections along the border, but I don't know if I can do that. Like I'm trying to. Can I not? My cat is making some weird noise. Like, I'm not even kidding. Just use the water drop and copy the color. Let's see. I mean, it's literally just called paint. Oh, color picker. Alright, okay, yeah, that's it. Never mind, bro. I have not used many of these paint sites. Just please tell me what's going on. I mean, right now on the MC server, Austrian and the Soviet Union are at war. That's basically all you need to know. So, yeah. We have Germany. They are finally prepped their militaries. And they decide, you know, we're going to throw everyone off. Here's the thing. They realize Poland is probably ready to invade. And, I mean, realistically, this is the least likely place that you really would expect Poland to be coming from. Because, I mean, I don't know. Like, Poland, they have all these military bases over here. They have all their soldiers over here. So if you invade here, Poland is probably going to take a tad bit more time to get ready. And they're probably not going to prioritize just this, like, immediate... What is my cat doing, bro? Boots, come here, like, get out of there. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to move these. Well, and never mind, he's not doing anything. Alright, okay. So yeah, back to what I was saying. So yeah, we basically have Germany finally invading Poland, and this officially marks the war. So as you guys know, all of these guys, all of these big boys, they're in a pact. So the pact is active. That's kind of a bright blue. Now that I'm looking at this, like, is there a way to? I don't know. That looks too dark. You know, yeah, I'll probably just stick with that bright blue. What in the world? Boots? Oh my God. Dear Lord, like that cat just jumped out of nowhere and like attacked the other. Dear Lord. Okay, wait, no. Bro, what? Are you good? Like, can I not have a stream? Bro, he is mad. What are these noises right now? Like genuinely, what are these noises? Oh, that is not what I meant to do. Okay, I'm gonna have to change your color just a slight bit, yeah. Okay, yeah, you'll be fine that way. So anyways, we have the German oh boy, no. Alright, okay, so yeah. I'm just trying to decide which color should I use for this, like, because the invasion color, it's not gonna be just red, it's gonna be, oh my God. You know, I'll probably, oh yeah, hold on, I keep forgetting. I need to like do that, yeah, to like deselect, it's kind of weird. Alright, okay, so I'm trying to think, like, would that look good? Or would it look good if it was like a light kind of red? Like if it were... Alright, okay, if I were to get red set up... Or make it... I mean, yeah, I actually think that looks pretty good, now that I think about it. Alright, okay. So, I'll probably... Bro, I don't... Yeah, I'll save that to the color palette. Wait. Bro, wait. Okay, I added it to the color palette, but, like, where even... Open palette... Bro, what am I... Like, I don't even know where to find this color now, because, like, I saved it. I don't even know where the palette's at anymore. Bro, what am I opening right now? Like, we're getting into the deep stuff right now. Alright, I mean, like, it's there. It's somewhere. So, yeah, anyway, kill the cat. Alright, so before we begin this war is going to be interesting. You guys want to hear me open up a can? Literally bought some off-brand drink. It's literally just called cola. Like, that's the name. It's literally just called cola. So, yeah, anyways. So, we have the German Austrians. They are Drugland, as you might know them. They finally begin... And they start the invasion. They start to slowly invade the north. And they also start a small... Oh, not the border. They also start a small campaign over here. And, I mean, Fallen, for the most part, was caught off guard by this. Like, the majority of their military hadn't even yet mobilized. So, they were planning to, you know, send a lot of their troops over here. Maybe start a slight push. So, Fallen decides, you know, maybe we should just make a slight push. So, they do make a slight invasion. Now, German Austria, they don't really fight back much, so they do take quite a bit of land, and they even kind of almost encircle the front down here. But here's the thing, right? German Austria, I'm not saying my man's is dumb, but, like, he's more so, like, how should I say? He's not dumb. He's more of just, like, what's the word? Like, not smart. Like, I mean, hey, bro, why you get cola when you can get the cola? No, cola with a C. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, okay. Where did the color go? Like, actually, like, genuinely, where did the color go? Was it this one? No, that is not the color I want. Okay, I'm so sorry, I'm flipping out. But, like, I clicked save to palette. And it added the color to the color palette. So, where's the color? Okay. Open palettes folder. Bro, like... Okay, I'm just going to use dark red. Screw this, bro. Like, it's dark red time. Alright, okay, so yeah. I was sleeping. Why, Levi? Shut up, bro. Alright, so we have the German Austrians. I mean, they're not dumb. But they decide, you know, we're going to do a little bit of a funny. They slowly kind of start to... They connect their fronts and they start to invade. Now, they're taking over kind of their useless land. They take over the Ukraine flagpole, which does make them a bit angry. And now they're left with kind of their useful territory. And so now they realize we kind of goofed up a little bit. We probably shouldn't have. We probably should have actually, like, defended our land. So they pull out and they reorganize and they get 100% of their troops and they're going to launch, like, a counteroffensive. So they do just that. They launch it around the Ukrainian flagpole and they manage to take that back. But, I mean, honestly, at this point, Fallen, like, I'm gonna be honest, man, I know who runs Fallen. Bro, what? Like, okay, I know who runs Fallen. Like, I know the leader of Fallen. He's not the smartest, and he would probably think of some idea, like, let's just, like, do something, like, I don't know. He would probably think of something dumb. But he decides, we're just gonna hold a defensive, and I do want to point out, this border is probably gonna stay somewhat the same, like, slight movements. Because I know the Fallen leader, bro. He would probably do, like, trench warfare. Like, he would genuinely probably do trench warfare. So, this is basically... This front is probably going to freeze for now. But that is also kind of a pathetic excuse to go over here. Where the Coulsons and the Russians make a slight... Kitty, what are you doing? Good lord. So, the Coulsons and the Russians, they make a slight push from the border. Now, these military camps, they haven't reached the military camps. But it's just a slight push. Their main goal, honestly, is just to try and, like, get as much territory as possible. Just to establish, like, basically take as much land and establish the biggest front as possible before the kind of, big pushback can come. Basically, like, make it hell for the German Austrians. That's basically the best way to put it. So, yeah. The German Austrians, however... They're kind of a bit angry by what they did over here, And particularly over in this front, this got dangerously close, even captured a few military installments. So they pull a lot of troops out of Fallen, and I know it might seem like they're kind of struggling and they're kind of all over the place, but I do want you to keep in mind, after a few battles, these guys are probably about to die. Levi, dear lord. Levi killed... Yeah, I still haven't found the Wasp. Like, I just want it... Like, I still haven't found it. So, the German Austrians... I mean, pretty obvious, bro. They make... What are you... Oh, my God. She's on the curtain? Get off the curtain, kitty. Dear lord. So, yeah. German Austrians, they make a slight... Or not slight push. Yeah, they basically push the front completely back. And Kalsa, at this point, is basically like, uh-oh. Because that was a majority of their force. Now, I do want you to know, though, Kalsa is heavily being supplied by Poland and the USSR. But wait, how did this in... I don't even know what happened. We're just going to ignore that. So, yeah. They are being supplied by outside powers. However, it is not really that much. I mean, like, they're getting supplies, but the outside powers, they're kind of prioritizing themselves. Like, they're thinking, I mean, their thoughts right now, we want to keep these guys along as long as possible, but we do also want to prepare for what is what's eventually basically going to come. So I wonder if the Wasp is eating in Levi's room. After last night's MVC, I spent the whole page 40-page essay. Oh, you reading? Okay, yeah, no. So anyways, we do have Germany, however. They do kind of do a bit of a funny. And you know how these guys are doing trench warfare? They think, wow, trench warfare can work. Let me tell you, Mr. Buster, it doesn't. So this front was not very defended. So they finally, this is the new Fallen borders and the new Fallen kind of front. It's literal trench. Like, it is a genuine, just, their country right now is a trench with a few bits of land in between. Like, these are the new borders. And they're probably going to stay this way a while, as Fallen is also being supplied by a group called the Bunker Boys, like, heavily. Like, I'm talking, like, they are fighting for Fallen. So, yeah. This front, it's not going to change a whole lot until they can finish the Coulson, we'll just call them Coulsons. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to have to get the big brush. So, yeah. They now start the push into Coulson and Fallen. Now, they start pushing slightly, however, they do run into trouble in the kind of actual, like, Russian city. Because, I mean, you know, it's the city of Russia. Like, it's going to be hard to kind of invade that. But they do kind of link up to where the Poland invasion was coming along, and they start to invade. So, yeah. I mean, right now, they haven't really captured much city, and this part over here, they kind of encircled this, because this was my dad's, like, kind of, it wasn't a country, but it was like his mini, like, home/estate or property looking thing. And so, yeah, they kind of encircled this, and I mean, my dad, you know, him and his forces, they're holding out over there. But so far, probably not much is going to happen. They're probably just going to gain this after the peace treaty. But we have one of the most brutal battles happening, so I am going to... Okay, let's see. So we could get width of the brush to, like, 1. So this is now the Russian capital, right? The Russian capital is actually, like, quite, like, extensive. Like, it's quite, you know, thick. So, yeah. But Germany, they do start the slow push in, and I will kind of start, like, kind of slowly the fall of Russia. So, they start to slowly push in, and they're kind of just ignoring the capital right now. Like, that's their main goal. They also open up another front. It links up here. Their goal is to try and isolate Russia, and they really don't even care about the capital at this point. The capital is still holding out, but they realize, you know, they don't need to really capture it right now. And so they start to make a slight push out from over here, and then they get a ton of forces. Like, I'm talking, like, a lot of dudes. And then they just push out over here. So now the entire border is being fully invaded. Now, we do have Kalsa over here. They do take advantage of this, and they make a slight oh boy, that's the wrong color. So yeah, they make a slight pushback over here. However, I mean, not really, like, too much is going to come out of this. This is pretty useless land. And, I mean, they're just trying to demoralize Germany, but, I mean, you kind of failed at that. So, yeah, we have, you know, my dad and his forces, they just agree, we better surrender. So, yeah, they surrender over. We have the we have the Germans. They start making a slighter push, like, slowly squeezing in on the Russian capital. And the fallen capital, hold on, I'll put it, it's like right there, I'd say. Yeah, it's about right there. So yeah, but anyways, so we have a bigger push started. They basically sweep into all their old captured territories, and now they make a spearhead for the capital. So I mean, they realize like there's literally nothing. Like I mean, it's a desert nation, of course. It's barren. Like there's literally nothing here. Khalsa is just one big cactus field. So they get a majority of their forces. They make a spearhead over here, and I mean the capital falls pretty quickly. Like I'm just gonna be honest. It was already getting invaded by the Polish, and I mean the Polish, they had kind of done a lot of destruction and stuff like that, and a lot of Khalsa's forces had already been severely weakened from that. So they get like literally all their forces, spearhead down over here, take this over, and circle a majority Khalsan army. And at this point, these dudes are kind of just like, we might want to make peace. Fallen, the front expands a tad bit more. It's literally now just a few trenches and a small, like, their capital's gone, but they're not giving up. And we have them finally pushing in, and this is where we have Fallen, this is where we have Khalsa, Russia. They finally decide, it's probably best that we make peace. Like, there's no way we're going to win. And by the way, the Russian capital was never captured, but it just kind of surrendered. So yeah, they take this, and I'm gonna like horribly redraw the borders because that's gonna be fun doing that. All right, so yeah, let's see. We're gonna have to get the hold on. So we're first gonna have to get the where is it? It's the paintbrush tool. Gonna have to do this. So yeah, they basically annex quite a bit of Khalsan territory. Like I mean, quite a bit of Khalsan territory. However, they do kind of hold back from taking over Russian territory, as I mean, they have owned quite a bit of Khalsa for a while. And you know, one thing Germany does like doing to pass the time is just bullying Khalsa and taking their land. So yeah, I mean, they take over a majority of the north. This primarily to get more desert. They are going to slowly start to grind for villagers. And, you know, one thing that's going into villagers, of course, you know, if they're trying to get cartographers. Cartographers, you know, they love sand. So Germany, Austria, they basically, oh boy, I'm doing a horrible job over here redrawing this. So yeah, Germany, Austria, like, they don't really care that much about the actual, like, cities and stuff. Like, that stuff can wait. Right now, they just are kind of more interested in taking over some desert. So yeah. These are the final borders they end at, and over here in Fallen, the front, oh boy, that's the wrong color. Alright, okay, so yeah. The front is pushed back a tad bit more, however, Fallen is still holding out on this itty-bitty little useless plot of land. Like, at this point, bro, like, it's just like 1 pixel. Now, I know the Fallen leaders too, they're dumb, but they're also, they're the type of people, they're never going to surrender. So, we have literally all the German-Austrian forces finally coming over here and finally forcefully taking over all the country. Now, I don't think, Fallen's going to be pretty salty about this. So, they decide, you know, we're just going to get a change in leadership. So, Fallen gets to keep their borders. Khalsa, Russia lost a tad bit of land. But these, like, dark red colors are, like, puppet states. So, now these countries are going to, they're basically owned by Germany, Austria, but they're puppets. They have governments that are like more kind of pro-German. That makes sense. So yeah, these countries down here, they are actually legitimately starting to get terrified. Now this kind of invasion over here, it was a bit hard for the German Austrians because they had a huge army, and the huge army, you know, it takes a while to mobilize. It wasn't fully mobilized. It was kind of rushed. So it wasn't a good look for them, but they still did manage to take these powers out. And so we have, for like the basically first time in history, Poland and the Soviet Union finally come together, and you know they agree. How about we kind of form a oh, that is a bright color. So yeah, they agree. How about we kind of form a union? So yeah, Poland, the Soviet Union, and I'm gonna try and Saron is like, the border right here is like mad weird, bro. Like I don't want to have to like color in like every like itty little bit and pieces, but it's just I do want to kind of get this red out of here. This red just looks mad goofy. Like yeah, this red just doesn't need to be here. Alright, okay, so yeah. We have these 3 countries forming what is called the Snow League. Wait, can cracked players play on the server? Yeah, cracked players can play on the server. So yeah, Poland, the Soviet Union, and Austrian now form the Snow League, and the WSS, they want to join in. However, they're not. They kind of suspect that this could be something greater, like a unionized. Like, they don't fully trust this organization. So for now, the WSS, I mean, they remain like peaceful and friendly, and they kind of cooperate with the organization. But they decide that for now, we're not going to join it. And so, yeah, all of Poland and its kind of occupied territory join. So, yeah, I'm going to include that. And also the BDR, that would be like the kind of, yeah, they also join in on it as well. I mean, they're not really quite snow, but, I mean, they barely exist anyways. They should just take it while they have the chance. And so, yeah, now we kind of have the alliances being more, like, officially solidified. But we do have another alliance popping up. Now, the WSS, I mean, they really don't trust this alliance. Like, I mean, they think that they don't really necessarily know the full intentions of this alliance. And so, you know, they do want defense against Germany. And, I mean, of course, realistically, though, they'd probably all just defend each other anyways. I mean, like, I don't think that's a question of, like, will they defend each other? But they just kind of want to make it official. So, I'm real quickly coloring in some of these islands. It does get kind of mad annoying. So, yeah. We have a kind of WSS Defense League popping up. I'll go and get the colors. So, yeah. The WSS Defense League pops up. And it includes the country of Vendaya, the country of Mongolia, and the actual, like, WSS. The Jungos care for some tea. Oh, no. Wait, yeah. Yeah, Jungos is just trying to sit here and... Yeah, current objective of Jungos is literally just to survive. But yeah, so right now we have the WSS Defense League, Vendaya, Mongolia, and the actual, like, WSS. And we have the Snow League popping up. And so the Snow League also does ended up, I mean, okay, wait. Liechtenstein, oh boy, wait, hold on. I'm going to have to, like, click off of this real quick. Okay, so yeah. Now, Liechtenstein, I don't think they would join, but the SSM does join. And Liechtenstein, they do start to militarize, and they do start to prepare for a German invasion. The only countries that really don't care, Radkin, Pog, West Korea, and Jungos, they do care, but they don't care enough to join an alliance. They're hoping, you know, maybe if we sit here long enough and we don't do anything, that they might forget about us. So yeah, but these countries, you know, they do want to help Basilisk, but they don't want Basilisk to join in immediately, because they're trying to prevent war as much as possible. So they are going to heavily supply Basilisk, but this is more of like a buffer, kind of between the north and the south. But yeah, so currently all you really need to know right now, Germany, they invaded 2 countries, and now basically the world is kind of not split, but there's 2 alliances that are basically to guard against Germany. So we do have Germany. They do make another act, a kind of another like war type thing. And they decide, we're going to invade Basilisk. Now, Basilisk, despite its small size, I'm going to admit, is a very strong country. Like, it's nothing to mess around with. Alright, okay, so I'm just real quickly. Basilisk, I mean, it had a pretty strong army. It had very high, like, outside support. And it, in general, was a pretty, like, I would say it's a pretty well-fortified country with some pretty good geography. So, yeah. But they border the regions that really, I mean, it's just undefended and flat land. So we have German Austria. They don't do a declaration of war. They just straight up invade. They're just like, you know, screw a declaration of war. So their goal, though, they want to capture this as fast as possible. So they push in on all sides. But here's the thing. I mean, this is probably as far as they're going to get, like, without, you know, really much pushback. Because right here is, like, Mount Alars, and I will show their capital real quick. Their capital is all the way over here. And Mount Alars is, like, right here. And Mount Alars, I mean, it does have, like, a lot of defenses on it. Here, I'm going to real quickly get a sip of soda. So Mount Alars, I mean, it does have quite a bit of defenses on it. Like, it's going to be really hard to get past Mount Alars. Jungos create an alt account and grinds on the server, go hide in Germany, steal loot. Yeah, that probably would be a Jungos. Nah, Jungos, they'd be too scared to do that because they want to maintain neutrality. But yeah. So Germany, they start the invasion, and we immediately have Basilisk. I'm just going to put them on the blue side they're not on the blue side though. Like I do want to. They're not like in the alliance. I'm just doing this so that just for kind of simplicity reasons, because I keep forgetting that color. So yeah, Basilisk is now on the blue side, and immediately like Basilisk troops arrive, and just like the second the invasion happens, bro, they're just like, you know, that's not cool. Oh my gosh, my cat is chewing on some wires. Hold on, guys. Bad kitty. Get out of here. Stop chewing on the wires. My gosh. Yeah, that was like the AC unit wires too. Like, definitely don't want to be chewing on that. Here, play with your toy, cat. Like, stop chewing on the air conditioning. Alright, okay, so yeah. Immediately after the invasion happens, Basilisk is like, that is it, unpoggers. And they just literally kick them out of their territory. Like, almost instantly. Now, Germany, Austria, like, I mean, yeah, their entire military is mobilized. And I'm treating them like they're not that strong. Here's the thing. Like, they might have experience on other servers, but their soldiers aren't experienced with the way the Leviathan SMP does war. And they're not really that, they don't have a ton of experience. I mean, they did just get out of a war. But you gotta understand, that war, it didn't last that long, and these were very weak powers. Like, these powers weren't that strong. I mean, the trench warfare was probably the most you're gonna get out of it. You're invading an actual, like, genuinely strong country. And so Basilisk is just like, me personally, I would never let that slide. Basilisk kind of already wants Coulson territory, so they push into kind of the territory that they claim, and they occupy that for now, and they even start a slight offensive into the German mainland themselves. Now, oh yeah, I also do want to kind of like say right here, despite them not invading much of Coulson, they do kind of take over like some border regions. Now, them taking over this territory, it did not come very easily. It was extremely hard, and there was literally Soviet and Polish soldiers like fighting on Jungo's behalf. They are now being heavily supplied. Like, this isn't a BDR, this isn't like, you know, Coulson, Russia. Literally all their supplies are going here, because Basilisk is the bridge kind of between north and south. This is the last hope for them to be able to defend themselves. So if Basilisk falls, it's not going to be good. So immediately, I mean, Basilisk does start to push back. But the German military, I mean, it's no laughing matter. So they do kind of push back, and I know it's kind of going back and forth, but that is kind of what's gonna happen, because Germany, they're big, they have high numbers, and they are really well equipped, but they rely on experience, and so the more experience they get, they're basically gonna become better and better, and so that's what you're gonna kind of see throughout the war. They're gonna suck in the very beginning, but slowly as the war progresses, they kind of get the hang of it a little bit more. So yeah. We have Basilisk, they are pushed back, and they do kind of abandon this German front as really not, or they kind of abandon, like, this front over here. There's not really too much is coming from it. Basilisk asks Jungos if they can use their territory to invade. Now, this would basically be Jungos, like, saying, like, in a way entering the war. Here, I'm going to clean some of this up real quick. This is mad weird. I don't know where this stuff is coming from, like actually, like, genuinely. Like, what in the world? So, yeah. Jungos would basically be entering the war. So Jungos refuses, and the Snow Pact looks at Jungos, and they're just like, are you serious? Like, they're basically over here holding a gun to Jungos' head, and they're just like, listen, we know you want to be neutral, but like, that doesn't really matter right now. I mean, what matters here, I'm going to go and real quickly, like, clean this stuff up right now. Like, this is actually mad annoying. Okay, yeah, like this itty bitty little red stuff, like right here, like, oh, this is getting on my nerves. Alright, okay. I think for the most part, yeah, okay, it's, well, yeah, okay, yeah, it's cleaned up. Yeah, sorry about that. That was just getting on my nerves. So yeah, they're holding the gun to Jungos' head, and Jungos, they're just like, they refuse. Like, despite their, you know, poppy Soviet Union telling them, like, hey, man, you should totally do that as well, they ended up refusing, and the Snow Pact, they don't do anything. You want to know why they don't do anything? Because they realize Jungos would probably just join Germany's side if, you know, they actually took action. And Jungos would also probably, you know, like, they don't want to waste military. They don't want to waste this just invading Jungos and getting a longer border with them. So they do agree to one thing with Jungos. Basically, you can keep your independence, however, you can't ally with Jungos, and as long as you're not in this defensive pact, we're not going to trade with you. So Jungos' economy is hit, however, they are given some military guarantees just to ensure the safety of everyone else. So back to the Jungos front, though, we do have the final, like, the might of the German army coming in. They start to invade, however, they stop at the Basilisk Farm, and the Basilisk Farm is being heavily defended. And, I mean, there is, like, temporary military bases being set up. The farm, like, okay, there's pockets of water inside. There's, like, a whole underground cave system under the farm. Like, it's been built just kind of artificially. There's heavy guerrilla resistance. And, I mean, they've already kind of captured a little bit of Jungos City. I mean, Basilisk cities. So, they make a small kind of push into Jungos, but... I keep calling Basilisk Jungos. So, yeah, but this is where they finally... agree to stop, and I am gonna, this is quite surprising, but they don't want immediate war right now. They do still want to appease the South, and they do still want to kind of a temporary appeasement, but at the same time, they also get kind of, it's appeasement on their terms, if that makes sense. So yeah, they agree to draw a small border with Basilisk, and this is the border. So, they kind of puppet this territory. This is like North Basilisk and South Basilisk. North Basilisk is including, there's like a town, St. Levi, and half of, like, I forgot what this town was named, bro. Like, I'm forgetting all the names of all this stuff. But yeah. So, Basilisk is now split in half, and the allies are starting to get really concerned now. Here, I'm going to quickly, I'm just going to get rid of this. Like, there's no point to add that. So, yeah. They're all getting really concerned, and so they're just like, Jungos, please just join, like, we need you. And Jungos is still, I mean, Jungos isn't budging. Like, they're still just, they want to exist, they don't want to die, so yeah, they're still not joining. But, in good news, though, Liechtenstein, they decide, Grand Liechtenstein decides, we'll join the pact here. I'm going to try and color some of this in. Oh man, so yeah, the Grand Empire, the biggest empire, Liechtenstein, the top dog country. Like, you don't want to mess with them. They join the pact, and once they join the pact, bro, this is getting serious. Like, Germany's gonna die. But no, in all seriousness, though, they now have more countries are starting to kind of get involved with this, and the WSS is even thinking about kind of conjoining their pacts together to create like one big kind of global we hate Germany league. But also in the meantime too, Radkin, see, here's the interesting thing. They are pretty pro-German, but they're also pretty pro-Soviet and BDR. But here's the thing. Like, Radkin, they kind of want competition. And many people are starting to feel, Radkin, they want war, they want competition. They want a lot of kind of chaos. And so, they probably don't think it'd be very interesting, if Germany was just them fighting by themselves. And so they're thinking, maybe we need to join Germany. So, they want to get big, and they can't get big by just joining this little, just by joining this defense league. Like, that's not going to make them big. So, they decide, Radkin and Pog both officially announce their alliance to Germany, and basically pledge allegiance to the German Empire. This is bad. Like, extremely bad, because now the German Empire is slowly starting to spread their influence. They now have a country in the south, and also I do want to point out West Korea. They don't matter, but they decide they joined. They joined. They just got around to it sometime. And also Linzvagia up here, they do feel that they're going to be a victim of German imperialism, and so they decide to join along with Plantera. So now it's not a snow defense league, it's just a global defense league, with the WSS kind of included. The WSS, they don't want to join in immediately, only if it's 100% necessary, and then you just have Jungos. Like, it's literally Poland, WSS, and just Poland, WSS, Germany, Jungos. So yeah. But now that Radkin, oh boy, I colored in that wrong, hold on. So now that Radkin and Pog are German allies, this is bad. But this is even worse, because here's the thing. They don't have access to this side of the sea. And I mean, they could get stuff around here realistically. They'd have to go a really long ways. But you know, they don't have full access to this. I mean, Jungos, you know, they're not about to let them just cross through. Jungos, they already said they're not about that. And I mean, they might allow this, but the WSS would basically essentially be like basically aggroing Germany. And Germany, they wouldn't be too happy about that. Like, they probably wouldn't let that slide. And so they're kind of stuck, and so they kind of come to a conclusion. They're just like, what if we were to kind of just go through the wilderness, if that makes sense? Basically, they're just going to send their army through the woods to remain completely undetected to come up here. And so, yeah, that's what they decided to do. So, yeah, alright, what's up, Marged? Okay, so Marged. Hey, hold on, I'm going to take a real quick sip of soda. Oh, wait. So, this is for everyone watching over here that just, like, joined in or anything. All you really need to know now, the world, like every country besides Jungos, is now in a pact against Germany. And Germany just took over half of Basilisk. They made North Basilisk as a puppet. And Radkin and Pog also pledged their allegiance and announced their alliance to Germany. So yeah. Now, these guys, they start to set up small, unofficial, like, unclaimed outposts in the wilderness. Many of these are secret bases. What in the world, kitty? Like, what is your problem? Oh my gosh, bro. Many of these are just small little outposts, storage facilities, bases. Like, I mean, stuff Radkin doesn't really know about. I mean, Radkin, they do think they're safe. However, they get a ton of fortifications. They make a big wall across the Mongol border. And their goal, honestly, is just to separate Mongolia from the rest of the pack. They're already landlocked. But they realize Mongolia could be pretty dangerous. You know, Mongolia, it could allow the snowpack to move through. What is the server version? It's the most recent version. They could, you know, this could allow Mongolia to move through, but also, too, they just want this alliance to be as weak as possible. So, yeah, they start to set up a wall, but these countries, I do want you to know, they are coming dangerously close. Like, they have a lot of fortifications. What is Radkin? You must not have been around during the Radkin days. Yeah, it was a country. I mean, they were semi-strong. Like, I would say they're probably on the same level as Mongolia, maybe just a tad bit stronger, probably. And Pog was like their puppet. Pog was like a little itty-bitty puppet state. It was basically Radkin. Yeah, so now Germany, they also, they kind of do something, tad bit bold. They decide, you know, screw these dudes. I forgot their name. Whatchamacallit? Khalsa. They're basically just like, you know, screw Khalsa, bro. They don't need to exist. They're Khalsa. So yeah, Khalsa is completely annexed into the German Empire. And here's the bad thing now. The German Empire now shares an official border with Poland, and now is just a lot closer and a lot deadlier to the south. But here's the thing. They made a pretty bad... See, Germany, I mean, like, okay, these guys, they're strong. They really are. But they're slowly starting to see their mistake, and the empire is slowly starting to crumble from the inside. Very slow, like, it's just starting to happen. Because over here in the CNC Empire, I mean, like, over in this region, this is primarily Bunker Boy, that, like, many people in Falland had bases, lived up here. And in this mesa, this is a mesa, it was called Auckland. Many people inside of Auckland, I mean, they didn't really like the Germans. They didn't like the German occupation, because now the Germans are forcing them all to join the military. The Germans are basically coming into their homes, coming into their towns, and just turning it into military bases. And I mean, Khalsa, I mean, they're tired of getting bullied. Like, they actually want something to happen. No, like, we're actually genuinely talking about the server. Like, the server. So, yeah. They're starting to get mad. Everyone here is starting to get mad, but they haven't started to rebel or anything. They're just all kind of bitter and angry. So, yeah, but we now have something happening, right? Germany, Austria... Well, they do something pretty bold. And, guys, now we're getting into the Great War. They... Drum roll, you can probably see right now. They declare war on Jungos. Now, Jungos, I mean, okay, they can launch naval landings, they can invade them that way, but Jungos now is the bridge. Like, this is a ton of land, a ton of valuable land, a ton of useful land with, you know, food, with mobs. I mean, you gotta understand, this is all snow biome. Nothing grows here. There's, like, literally no trees. Like, Poland is at a severe disadvantage. You know, also, you know, up here in Germany's territory, this is all desert. Like, is this the same one with Rocket? No, it's the old server, Marget. It's the old server, the one that got reset. So they declare war on Jungos. Now, these guys aren't... Oh my gosh. These cats are going nuts. Bro, what are they doing? Dear Lord. Okay, you know, I'm going to make Germany a okay, no, Jungo's a slightly different color just to say, like, they're not in the war just yet. But now that Jungos is in the war, now that they're in the middle of this fight, this is starting to call in some concerns. See, Jungos, they don't got a strong military. In fact, I don't even know if they had a military now. They're just really geographically and kind of, yeah, just geographically important. Like, that's literally it. The geography is the only reason this country even exists. So yeah, Jungos, I mean, a lot of countries are saying, like, should we declare war? Is this the time? Like what should we do? I got 3 beacons before I go. Did you get reset? Wait, did you reset? No? Bro, on the PP rocket spawn server, I got 3 beacons before it go and you reset. I didn't reset, no. Bro, this is the server with Poland, Mongolia. This is the server I did a ton of streams on. Like, Marget, you dumb, bro? My gosh. So, yeah. Now, here's the thing. This is where Radkin comes into play. And this is where all these countries are starting to become slightly more... It's all starting to kind of come together now. Now Jungos is about to be sandwiched. Radkin has a slightly strong military. They start to push up into Jungos, and they start to snake along the coast. Now, I mean, Jungos, they fight back. There's literally nothing they can do. And the Germans, bro, they slam Jungos. Like, I'm talking very little pushback. They cut Jungos' access to the sea. And now, I mean, yeah, they basically just capture this so easily. And now you have this kind of this west Jungos state. And so, Germany they've pushed this deep in. And now the West is slowly starting to respond. I'm deep into your mom. Now the West is slowly starting to respond. They get literally, like, all of these supplies. They sanction Germany hard. And now a lot more, like, resistance is coming into Jungos. And this is, like, this isn't even the Jungos army. This is technically the Jungos army, but this is basically Soviet, Polish, like, all those militias. They start to push back. They even kind of cut around down here. And, I mean, they're making slight pushback, but they're trying to get Germany off their border. And, I mean, oh boy, I kind of probably should have... Hold on, I'm going to push this back a tad bit. But their main goal, yeah, is just tell Germany to leave, basically. And so, Jungos. Bro, went on... Okay. Okay, I went on Texas, and I got 3 max beacons, and I didn't delete the world. You waiting my time? And I did not delete the world. The PP rocket server, and I got 3 beacons. I didn't delete that world. Like, that, I didn't delete that one. So yeah, Jungos is basically dead. And now they kind of come to a peace treaty. But these dudes, they don't really read the treaty in its entirety. See, while Jungos is preserved, like, the Jungos state is preserved. Like, Jungos is still allowed to be a country. Like, they still exist. Woohoo, Jungos. Germany, Austria, they finally achieved their main goal. Connect with Radkin. Now Germany, Austria is starting to put their world domination into play. Like, this is all coming, it's all starting to come together now. Like, these invasions, they were for a reason. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason that this is all happening. See, Germany, Austria, they realize, and here, I'll draw the border while I'm explaining this. They realize, you know, like, right now we need to geographically beat them, because you know they're still strong. They don't just want to immediately declare war and start invading the West. Like that's not going to be smart. And Germany, Austria, you know, they claim they have good war tactics. They don't, bro. Like, I don't care what they say. But they are pretty smart people. Like, I do know them. And so they're gonna, you know, they're gonna want to try and do something smart. And since their tactics aren't necessarily the best in war, they decide to get more, like, kind of more long-term tactics. And this is one of them. They basically just, yeah, they do this. So now Germany, not Germany, Austria, bro. Now Jungos is, well, they're not dead. They still exist. What are you doing, Tea Party? Yeah, no. Yeah, Germany is just so confused. Like, they're invading. Jungos is kind of the femboy kind of country. So, yeah, but now we have this, like, East Jungos type thing. And they're kind of doing a Cold War moment. Like, they're not declaring war on these guys just yet, but they're splitting countries in two and making them puppets. But now, here's the thing. They set up a wall. Now, all of these allies over here completely... But wait, how did these guys end up on the blue team? Like, or on the red team? Like, I'm so confused how this stuff happened. Like, bro, what happened? Alright, okay. But now, they've basically done it. Like, they haven't, like, completely conquered the world just yet, but they've set up a wall. Vendaya and these two countries over here, and, I mean, even Mongolia, they're still pretty isolated. And now these countries can't, like, sweep in and pancake them. Now, Germany, Austria, they are, like, they're in a very dangerous position. They can do quite a bit. And so now, guys, we can't avoid it anymore. Without further ado, we're going to get into the Great War, right? Now, here's how the Great War starts, though. You see, Mongolia, I'm not saying Mongolia is dumb or anything, but Mongolia, they would just be the type of people to try and start something on the border just as an excuse to go to war. Like, they're probably sitting over here bored. Like, they're the people that complain that the war's not starting fast enough, and they go off and try and, like, you know, start a drunken bar fight. That took me way too long to say that. They start a drunken bar fight just to get the war to start. So yeah, Mongolia, let's just say they decide, we're gonna, oh yeah, wait, before I do that though, Jungos, they still decide, you know what, neutrality, kind of overrated, would be just better off in the alliance. But yeah, Mongolia, hate to say it, man, oh wait, whoops, Mongolia is now officially at war. Now, the Mongols, they ended up at war. I mean, like, they basically crossed the border, crouched up and down. Who the F is Mongolia? I thought I was alone. How am I alive? I mean, this is assuming, like, you could get a lot of people in. So, yeah. So, yeah. Basically, Mongolia, this is how the incident starts. A Mongol man, he's sitting out there watering his garden. And he decides, hold on, I'm just trying to, like, deselect, basically. He decides, you know what? What if I cross the border and go over here? He starts crouching up and down and up and down. And the kind of German guard arrives. And the German guard is not too happy about this. And so they chase him all the way into Mongol territory. Like, they chase him into Mongol territory. And the Mongols are just like, what are the Germans doing here? I mean, they never had to worry about the Germans in real life, but they're still pretty shocked. And so Mongolia, they chase the Germans back, and the Germans are just like, what are you doing in my swamp? And so the Germans declare war. Now, wait, what role are you playing? I'm not any role. So yeah, now Mongolia's at war. And now here's the thing. The WSS Pact, they have a decision to make. They're in an alliance, that they are. And, you know, they're not about to just betray their comrade like that. But would they realistically risk the entire world erupting into a global conflict just to defend Mongolia? You bet they would, bro. They're the WSS. Like, what did you think I was about to say? No? So, yeah. All of the WSS officially joins in on the war. And, I mean, okay, wait, I'm having to select all their territory. Alright, okay, so yeah, that's... Oh, boy. You know what I'm probably gonna do? Probably just gonna go back. Yeah, this is why I have... No. Oh, I'm trying to figure something. There we go. So yeah, now all of the WSS is in on the war, right? I mean, it's the WSS, bro. Like they're gonna obviously do this. And the kind of this global alliance, they're deciding, you know, what should we do? Like they're very confused right now. Like, if they join in the war, this could be the time to destroy the German Austrians. But at the same time, if they don't join in, they can maintain peace for now. But they join in. You see, they decided, you know, we're kind of a bit tired of, you know, just having to put up with them. And so here is the grand war that you guys have been waiting for. It's now Germany, Austria. Wait, bro. But they joined in your mom. How do I get whitelisted? I'll whitelist you probably... Okay, wait. So I'm going to need you to join the Discord server. And then someone just send a message. Or send a message in chat. It's a link in the description. Join the Discord server. Tell me in chat when you verified. Like in this chat. And attach your username also in the Discord server as well. So yeah, now we've gotten into the Great War. So here is finally, I'm going to reveal the final sides. Alright, so I'm going to, okay. So this is currently what's going on. The entire world is at war. We have the WSS, Linzvagia, Planetara. It's like insignificant. They don't really matter. And we have Poland, West Korea, the Soviet Union, South Basilisk, the BDR, West Jungo. This is something, bro. Jungos. Liechtenstein, the SSM, and Mongolia at war with the German Austrian Empire, North Basilisk, Falland, East Jungos, Radkin, and Pog. Right? This is not going to be an easy war. And here's the thing. Everybody has learned. Now, okay, wait. Can you just let Jungos have a tea party? Nah, bro. Jungos got to get involved in this, alright? Sorry, I'm taking a sip of soda real quick. So, yeah. Now, this is the final Great War. This is the war to end all wars. Germany, they decide, you know, we need to get the immediate advantage. And, you know, I hate to do Spot dirty like this, like... Spot does not last long, like, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, the German Navy, it makes some small landings. They capture Planetara. Like, Planetara had, like, barely a military. Like literally no military. And they also start to siege Linzvagia as well. Like, the majority of it is coming under siege. They invade half of it. I hate to do Spot dirty like this, bro. But, like, Spy Omoy can put up a great fight, but he is isolated completely. So they start to invade Vendaya. However, they don't take over its like useful land. They haven't really gotten to the city part yet. So yeah, but Vendaya for the most part, like it's a majority of the eastern territory has been invaded. Over here, they finally Linzvagia stood no chance. Like let's just be honest. And now all that remains in the eastern kind of hemisphere is just Vendaya. Yeah, when I come back from milk. You kill Spot, how dare... Spot isn't dead yet. Like, they took over his useless land. I mean, this is just what I think would happen. But yeah, here's the thing, though. They do have a lot of soldiers over here securing the east. And they tell Radkin, hey, can you kind of take out the trash while we're... I mean, I hate to use that wording. But they basically tell Radkin, you know, do the job while we're, you know, kind of distracted over here. I'm not calling you guys trash, but yeah. Radkin starts a push into Mongolia, and I mean, they take over some of Mongolia's land. However, it's not very useful land. They connect up a front with Jungos, and East Jungos is very militarized. It's a literal German puppet. West Jungos, I mean, they're a puppet right now, basically as well, but they still don't got a military. Like, they're still very crappy. So they do start to invade. However, I mean, this is still fairly useless land, I'd say. Now, the South, they have been getting their butt kicked. Like, at this point, bro, like, they just been getting clapped so hard. Germany, they decide, hey, we can let kind of Vendaya do their thing. Vendaya, they do start to push back. They capture a lot of this land. They make a small... They make a landing. They get around to doing this sometime. They recapture their island. They also capture the Soviet island as well. They kind of take that for their own, I guess. And yeah, now all that's left is some German outposts in the south, but Vendée is very heavily supplied. Like, very heavy. So the Vendean Navy literally single-handedly manages to liberate all of the western, besides, you know, the southern territory, all of the eastern countries, sorry. So yeah, Germany is now suffering the first, like, real defeat. Are you just recapping or are you making up things? No, this isn't a recap. Like, this is a, like, it's literally a what-if scenario. Like, read the like, title. Alright, so yeah, despite Jungos, like, they still haven't invaded useful land, but we do have something interesting happen. Over here, however, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to make the brush small. So yeah, we do have, German soldiers. They enter Basilisk, and now that they have Jungos over here, they move in past, and yeah, they squeeze in. However, Alars still holds out under siege. Like, there's no getting to Alars. So you're just role-playing. No, I'm not role-playing. I'm like, this is an alt history scenario. It's not role-play. So yeah. Now, we do have the Soviet Union, though. They're just like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, screw that, kind of. Okay, wait, no, I'm going to give them the blue brush. So yeah, they push in. They finally meet up with Basilisk, and they kind of help Basilisk a little bit. And for the most part, we have the front kind of stabilizing now. The militaries of these countries have all arrived. They're now starting to push them back en masse. However, here's the thing. Mongolia is strong, but they aren't that strong. And the Allies don't really care about Mongolia that much. And I hate to do this to Mongolia. I'm sorry, Marged. Yeah, Mongolia, it just, somehow, bro, that Mongolian farmer, he decides to join the Soviet army, and so now Mongolia, that's half their population just gone. And so yeah, they got eliminated. So, I'm not trying to be rude to Mongolia, but this was your new location, and I remember you were trying to make a country here or whatever. This is not a good spot to make a country, and especially with a lot of these, you know, countries like coming in here, it just is not a good spot, Marged. And so yeah, but we do have Vendée over here, finally kicking out. Yep, they finally kicked them out. And Vendée, they do a Giga Chad move, and they just invade some of these islands. Like, Vendée is popping off, but these battles, it was a hard-fought battle. Like, I mean, it was not easy by any means. So the Vendéans are now slowly cooling off and basically just starting to, like, reorganize and re-prepare. But right now, they're kind of tired. They're kind of exhausted. Rip Mongolia. Jungos doesn't even... Yeah, Jungos over here, just like, Operation Survival. But yeah, we do have actually something interesting happening, though. We have the Allies deciding, you know, we got to get to the core of this. And so, an invasion happens. They launch a naval landing. And the German capital, it's like right... Okay, wait, no, hold on. The German capital is like right here. So that's the German capital, like, just for reference. They push in, and they start to siege German territory. And they launch a huge naval, like a kind of naval landing. This, honestly, it accomplishes quite a bit. And they actually do link up with this front. But honestly, man, like... It's not going to last long. The German army arrives. The German army, despite... Now, they do kick them out in the north. However, in the south, though, the front still... Like, they kicked them out of here. However, the front was not completely, like, useless. Like, they did have some success. And we do have the Polish army finally arriving. And they do push down. And they actually... We have another country being... Or, not another country. But, yeah, we have them moving into Basilisk. And we have actually the invasion of North Basilisk starting. A kind of joint Polish Basilisk invasion. North Basilisk is slowly crumbling as it was, you know, like barely even a country. I'm gonna go get a German soldier and kidnap them. Yeah, like they're barely even a country at this point. And we actually do have a slow counteroffensive starting. And here's the thing, right? You know, I keep saying here's the thing. They decide, you know, let's go check in on our good buddy, the BDR. Yep, they invade Polish BDR. Polish BDR was almost completely abandoned because, like, no one was there. And then they invade the rest of the BDR. But, you know, it's the BDR, bro. So, despite the BDR literally losing all of their territory that can actually be, like, all of their livable, habitable territory, they still hold out. Just a slight sliver of a bit. And they make the dumb decision. Let's invade the WSS Isles. Let's try and do that. Spoiler alert, it did not go good. Yeah, they got pushed back instantly. Also, German islands down here are starting to be captured as well. The Soviet Navy is pretty strong, and combined with the Polish, yeah, German islands are just slowly starting to be captured. So yeah, this is kind of the current USSR sub. So I wonder if I got a small city. No, yeah. So this is the current map right now. Germany's making a lot of progress in jungos in the southeast. However, over here in the north, they are struggling immensely. And here's the thing up here, right? I keep saying here's the thing, bro. I need to stop saying that. Over here, this was a primary Soviet settled region. The Soviet Union, when it was allies with the Germans, they sent a lot of settlers up here. And they actually set up a lot of bases up here. The Soviet Union now is starting to, a lot of many Soviet settlers here are now starting to be attacked, even killed, having their lands, like, rights taken away. Instead of going to the Soviet Union, they decide, screw this, bro, and they start a revolt. And this revolt's actually quite popular. Now, the Germans still hold influence over here, but they do start rebelling against German rule. This is primarily just Soviets and other people that just dislike the war come over here. We have the guerrilla militias pushing in. However, like, this is all wasteland. This is where the actual, like, bases and cities are. So, Germany, for the most part, they hold on and control that. However, guerrilla forces have basically captured that colony over there. And Vendaya, they do another Giga Chad move. And they don't take much land. I mean, it's not much, but they push in and they take a small bit of that peninsula. So at this point, Germany, they have a strong army. Like, I'm not underestimating the Germans, but compared to the entire server online and mobilized, they don't stand much of a chance if I'm going to be on. I mean, they stand a chance, but it's not like it's not a guaranteed win. So we have the Germans, they get all of their army, literally all of it. They're getting all this. They push this, oh, that's the wrong color. They, first of all, they're starting to basically, they push the Vendayan front back. They then push this front back, and they also push this front back. They get rid of them from all their territory, and now they're going to start the Great Offensive. Alright, the largest offensive in server history. I'm talking 40 players, like all of them. They start down here, they move in, they capture the south of the SSM, and they took over all the SSM city, and eventually we have SSM surrender. They also move into Liechtenstein and capture the mighty Liechtenstein, not without a fight, however. They then start a move kind of into Polish territory. They start kind of snaking along the border, and this is what they're doing. They call it Operation kind of Clampdown. That's what it's going to be called, Operation Clampdown. Their goal, basically, don't get huge fronts, but kind of snake along and then clamp down from all sides. They also do start to slowly push into jungos, and here's the thing. They're leaving small pockets down here for encirclement. And that's exactly what they do. And South Jungos militias down here are wiped out. This is, I don't know. Everyone is panicking, as now they are making huge pushback. But here's where everything's going to start going south for Germany. This island, this snow colony, finally liberates all of its territory, and it finally declares independence, and it finally joins the blue side. So now, they just lost out on that front. And on top of that too, like, a lot of, like, people living down here, and even a lot of, like, Oceran, they're now starting to arrive, and they're starting to hold a defensive. But here's the bad thing. You remember how I was talking about, you know, how they took over all this territory, a lot of people didn't like it? Well, see, now that's coming back to it's coming back to him, right? Over here in the north, this is the northeast. CNC militias rise up. The CNC Federation is declared independent, or is declared like an independent country. These are the rough borders of the CNC Empire. They declared this land independent, and this is the interesting thing with the CNC Empire. Despite them being involved in the war, they offer the Germans like peace. Like they don't want to be fighting the Germans. They just want independence. However, the Germans, they're not going to take that for an answer. And so they do start a slight pushback, as I mean, it's slight. It's not much though. But yeah, just slight pushback. And here's an even worse thing. Like they are now like just panicking. All right, like everything is starting to go south right now. Jungos Fallen overthrows its government, overthrows this kind of government over here, and they set up the old government, which decides to basically declare the Jungos empire, and declares war. And now they make a push out from here, and they start to almost encircle these militias. These militias, they're fighting down here, and now you have soldiers coming over here. This could easily squash them and just encircle them. And over here, too, see, a lot of people in Basilisk, they're unhappy, but they haven't revolted yet. And now here's also the thing as well. See, I did say everyone was coming back, and over here, there was a country called Ethonia, very old country. After the stream, I'm going to count how many times Levi accidentally said Jungos. Yeah, this country over here is called Ethonia. They didn't exist for that long, but they probably wouldn't like German rule. They hate being told what to do. They were like anarchists. So they start a kind of anarchy, like in a way communist anarchist revolt. I don't know how you'd even describe that. And they start pushing back. And now Germany is not in a good spot. You have the CNC Empire that's declared their independence. You have their snow colony being declared independent. You have Ethonia independent. You now have Fallen removing their government. Vendaya has taken over all their external Eastern Hemisphere territories, and this front is slowly starting to look more and more irrelevant. And it is. Yup, these guys, they decide we're going to do a little bit of a funny and liberate our territory, because that'd be cool. They set up the WSS as a country. They even start to slowly push into Mongol territory. And finally, Jungos is getting pushed back. Or the Jungos, they're getting liberated. And Radkin, they don't see a point to this. But here's the thing. Radkin, they're imperialists. And Blue Team is desperate. So Radkin decides, let's just join the Blue Team. Like, I mean, we want to get land. And we fought, but we didn't fight, like, that much, if you think about it. Like, I mean, we fought a lot, but it really wasn't a ton. So the Radkin army, yep, they push in. Jungos is starting to lose, or not lose, but it's starting to gain quite a bit of its territory back. And this is starting to look bad, but now the front has officially stabilized, and it stops around here, kind of north Jungos. Over here in Fallen, though, this did not go good, and in fact, they just sent the military in again, and they re-invaded Fallen. However, this time, this was a lot faster. Set up the old government, and Fallen's back in business as a puppet state. So yeah, this is not going good, like, for Germany. They still have their core territories, which is the industrial heartland. However, they did lose quite a bit. Like, they still lost a ton, right? I'm going to take a real quick soda break right now. Oh, man. And so, yeah, now they decide this is the... Okay, me back. All right, okay, so, yeah, basically, Morgad, everywhere is liberated. It's literally just Germany and Fallen fighting on their side. And now here's where the bad part starts to come in. Like, the really bad part. All right? We have the German Civil War starting. And I'm going to represent them with a different color. We're going to give them purple. All right? Now, the Germans were... They were sort of anti-communist at the time. And, okay, like, Jungos Man... Could you actually do something with Jungos Man? Like, T... Okay, yeah. See... Communists, independence fighters, like, they form the Purple Army, right? And the Purple Army kind of forms up around here. It meets up over here, and even over here in Fallen, the Purple Army takes control. Now, this new Purple Army, this kind of purple movement, they snake around, and they even gain Jungos supporters. And this is now a full-on German civil war. Like, Germany is also having to fight the blue guys, but they're now fighting in a civil war. And now here's the thing. the German army is still the most professional. Many of these allies have begun to say, you know, well, we'll stick around for peace negotiations, but, you know, where they majority, it's really now just Poland, Soviet Union, and Jungos doing most of the work. And, you know, the WSS, of course. Like, these guys have all kind of pulled out. Majority of them, they don't really care to fight too much. They think, you know, Germany's dead anyways. And so many of these guys begin, they make a, you could say, like, soft exit out of the war. So I'll represent them in a kind of light blue. They're still, oh, what happened over here, bro? I don't know, like, their borders just got, like, I don't even know what happened, bro. I'm gonna have to fix, you know, I'll fix this right now. But yeah, these countries, they're still technically in the war. However, they aren't sending any soldiers. They literally aren't even fighting at all. They're just kind of there. They just kind of exist for now. And we don't necessarily have Vendaya doing this. Vendaya is still fighting small scale fighting, and I'll probably give them a special color. Yeah, we'll give Vendaya this. Like, Vendaya has started to fight on a small scale. It's more of just like maybe like 1 or 2 dudes being sent. And this is also over here. We have the first country finally exiting the war. They signed a treaty with Germany, and we'll just call them Snowland. Snowland is the first country to gain independence. And, oh boy. So yeah, Snowland gains independence. I'll just do that. And over here, I forgot to put these guys. Oh, wait, no. Okay, these guys are in. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm having to, like, get all these colors. Alright, okay. Now I'm gonna have to do that. Come over here. And then I think. Wait, is there a deselect button? I think there. Because I keep, like. I'm tired of just, like, clicking on something and. Alright, okay, never mind. Snowland basically just declares independence. These countries that are in different colors have stopped fighting for the majority, and the Purple Army has rose up. Now, the German army is given a little bit of a break, and the German army, they now have a plan. Plan is Operation Crackdown, is what they call it. See, they want their territory, I mean, they want this war to end, and they want it to end on a somewhat, like, they still exist note. So, they take out Ethonian rebels, that wasn't even that strong. They push in, they take over quite a bit of sea and sea land. No, in fact, they take it all over. Like, I'm not underestimating these dudes, but I'm talking, like, all the German armies over here. The Purple Army actually does make a slight advance into Germany now, as they were distracted over here. And the Allies, for the most part, have not invaded Germany. In fact, they've stayed true to most of their territory. However, they were making slight kind of. Yeah, they're basically coming into North Basilisk, and they invaded. And they even started a slight push and connected this front. This is what it's looking like right now. And we have the German army. They come over, and here's the thing. Purple Army is not united. And we actually have the Purple Army entering its own civil war. See, we have these down. Okay, I'm going to represent. We have these down in Jungos. They want Jungos independence. We have these guys. These are separate independence fighters. We have the majority of these guys being socialist kind of rebels. And we have a lot of these guys being, like, anti-war rebels. Now, these guys rise up. They're fighting on basically all sides. Like, they're all fighting each other. Jungos, they joined the movement just to gain independence, but the Purple Army's mad because they kind of betrayed them and they just want to be left out. They just are like, leave me alone. Neutrality, please. These guys just simply want to end the war, and so they're going to fight everybody. And I know they're kind of contradicting themselves, but you go for it. Try and do it. And these guys down here, these are like, they want basically the German Empire to be split into like a ton of states. Every country over here that was a country is going to gain independence. Now, these purple fighters, majority of them were just socialist, but they still remain united under a banner. Sadly, yeah, the socialists, they just exit the Purple Army, and the Purple Army, for the most part, basically collapses. Like, I mean, there really wasn't much. There wasn't like a battle per se, but the Purple Army, they all kind of fractured. And Germany is just like, oh, you don't say, they fractured, huh? Well, isn't that convenient? Yeah, they start to push in. And this isn't really good. They kind of fractured at a bad time. Like, they picked the worst time to fracture. Like, come on, dudes. So, yeah. they push in and they finally capture all this territory. And I know it seems a bit unrealistic, but if they're all fighting each other, they're all fractured. They have to fight each other and the German army, which is still, still 40 dudes and still, like, the most industrial country. Like, there's no doubt about that. It still is really strong. Oh, wait, I can left... No, wait, hold on, guys. I am just, like... I just realized something. Hold on. What if I were to, okay. So, okay, I can get this. And then secondary, I can get to go this. And so I can just change up secondary and... Oh, that is so useful, actually. Oh, sorry, I just, like, discovered something. So, yeah. But now we have these dudes. Yeah, they're starting to push in. Like, it's a pretty big push. And we have Germany. They're starting to They're starting to realize, like, their population is still exhausted. They're still rebellious, but at least they're now kind of quelled and they're not going to rebel anymore. Germany arrives, they push back, they kind of capture this territory, and now I can change this color to this dark red. We have Germany finally making a grand push. Oh, wait, that's the wrong color. Germany making the large offensive. They push in, capture Basilisk, they push into Jungos, they finally capture the Jungos capital, and while Jungos does continue to fight, they virtually surrendered. These states down here, okay, like, I know this seems very unrealistic, but Germany is, like, everybody's on the front. Most of these guys, they just want the war to end. And so all of these guys, they finally, they just opt out of the war. Like, these guys, they decide, we're better off just leaving. So, yeah, they kind of betray their allies. And what's worse, Vendaya, they don't betray them. They still continue to supply their allies. But Vendaya decides it's not in our best interest. We also got, like, a lot of land. And so Vendaya, they also decide to join Israel. And so, yeah, that's bad. So let's just see, what's going to happen. Yeah, this is not good. Germany moves in, and now this is a big united front. And sadly, Jungos is knocked out. And the Polish capital, Perblik, is captured. We have them encircling Warsaw. And the Soviet Union, like, I know it'd be a hard fight, but all of the Soviet Union is captured. Because the majority of Soviet forces, they're kind of behind the Polish line. They just decide to abandon it. They push in to Meme Island. And they also make a small landing on the WSS Island. What the heck? I love Jungos. But yeah. And so now, see, here's the thing. They made this big push, but these guys are very industrial. And this is now where the economy and kind of the like, actually, like, what you can produce and manufacture. Blue has ramped it up. And I'm talking WSS. Those are the #1 guys in base building and making bases. They have, like, probably dozens of bases, and they have now opened them up to the general blue public. Blue has ramped up. Like, everybody is now in the war effort. Germany has gotten a tad bit cocky. They just got off the Civil War, and the Civil War rebels kind of damaged infrastructure, and that was kind of their goal. A lot of them, they kind of just destroyed a lot of stuff. And what's worse is Germany seems to get this idea that they don't need to manufacture a ton. Like, they have this idea that everyone on their own should just grind for their own stuff and come back in, while the Allies have more of a, like, societal. While the blue team, basically, they have, like, everyone should be working together. Germany is like, everyone should just grind, get their own stuff, and then meet back up. So as a result, Germany is way more divided and way less supplied. Now that the Allies are finally more supplied, though, we do have a huge Allied offensive. Like, I'm talking, it's pretty huge. When I say pretty huge, yeah, it's very huge. They finally regain their coast over here. They push in, they reset up the Soviet Union. They push in, they liberate this. BDR finally moves. The BDR Isles are liberated. They make a landing, capture Meme Island. And for the most part, they really just hold on to Jungos and Basilisk. This is really all they hold on to. And now this is becoming even worse. Because over here, these regions were never quelled. Like, this region, this never was fully quelled. Like, the rebels were defeated, yeah, but the rebels are still there. The rebels now reorganize, and after being heavily supplied by the outside forces, these guys are on overdrive in terms of production. The Purple Army finally comes back, however, this time, they're now united again. They move in, Fallen decides to declare independence and join the Purple Army, but this time the Purple Army is huge. The CNC Federation also joins, or the CNC, like, union kind of joins, and the Purple Army in Jungos also joins. They agree not to fight each other, and they agree just get rid of Jungos, and then, or get rid of Germany, and then they'll figure out what to do with Germany. And then, and then they'll figure out the rest. Germany, they have this over here. Purple Army moves in, and the blue team moves in, and Germany basically just got screwed over. Like, big time screwed over there. Germany is now, like, really bad, but what's worse is Purple Army forces rise up over here. Coulson Purple Army forces rise up over here. And we even see independence, like, fighters over here. And what's even worse, this place decides, what if we just rejoin the war? You know, trying to get just a better alliance with the South and kind of the East, the West kind of in general. They decide to rejoin the war, and the West, with joint efforts from them, kind of launches some naval landings, takes over a lot. German army, their main goal here, there's still a ton of them, still like 40 of them, but the German army has been slowly but surely deteriorating. Many soldiers are defecting over to these new rebel sides. Many of them have even joined the Allied side. I'm making a story in Levi is, I don't know. And, see, that's the thing. The German army has now sunk to only 25 active duty personnel. 15 of them have already defected over to the Allied / rebel side. And even what's worse, we have now what's called the German People's Liberation Army. These guys are entirely socialist, and they basically, all they want is just to restore Germany to its natural borders and set up a pro-Western government. And Germany's now collapsing. They attempt to make some pushback. However, I mean, they push back Kulsa, they push back this front over here. However, it's futile. The West, okay, wait, hold on, that's the wrong color. They push in, Kulsa starts a new rebellion, so does Russia as well. And this is roughly what they control. Purple Army forces also rise up over here and link up. And the German Germany, they don't want to be fighting on 2 fronts, which they're fighting on like 8 fronts right now. They push this back, and the German Liberation Army, they decide, we're gonna pop up down here as well. Now, I'm making this seem like Germany's collapsing fast. This would be like a month to 2 month long process, and this would be very intricate. But they basically, the Purple Army decides to officially make peace, however they still slightly fight, and these guys, they're mainly now just supplying and fighting for the kind of German Liberation Army. The German Liberation Army comes down over here, and they start to come over here, and now Germany's literally just been reduced to this. Germany is just like panicking and freaking out right now. So they decide, we'll push them back a little bit, and that's it. Germany is literally exhausted a majority of their forces, and now their active duty personnel is down to 9 people. The German Liberation Army, they're just too much. They couldn't handle them. The German Liberation Army now makes the push. They push down here. They start to close in, and now I will kind of in detail reveal the Battle of Berlin. Like, the Battle of Berlin. Like, this is going to be the slow fall of Berlin. We have forces over here slowly starting to push into Berlin, and Berlin is about this. Berlin's actually quite a big city. I'd say these are about the Berlin borders. Alright? So you guys are starting to get World War II flashbacks. Peach Usta has very loyal people in his country. And so they, obviously, the loyalists are still staying with them. The Liberation Army is coming over here, and they are starting the slow burn process of coming over here. We do have the Germans finally actually gaining access to the sea again. And we do have them making some slight pushback. It's not much, though it really isn't in the grand scheme of things. But we do have the Liberation Army to the north over here making a slight push, and now they're starting to threaten they're really starting to threaten Berlin. Like, it's dangerously close to Berlin. Like, they're basically on top of Berlin now. These guys finally cut northern sea access as well, which is just a bad blow to the German economy. And yeah, basically every country stopped trading with Germany. The German Liberation Army finally links up over here, and we have the push over here. Now, Berlin, at this point, the city's expanded a little bit, and this is mainly now just fortifications and kind of not hospitals, but places where people can just resupply. Yeah, they take advantage of this kind of gap, and let's just say, there's like a gap right here where there's a lot of forces, but they take advantage. It's a small itty-bitty little gap. They push in, and yep, they knock this part out. Germany is basically screwed, but there is a slight bit of Germans still left over here. So yeah, they might continue to fight somewhat, like a little bit. We have the Liberation Army still making some pushes in the south, and they finally bulk their front up over here. And now, here's where we have the Battle of Berlin, like the actual battle taking place, alright? Pietschüster has gathered everybody he knows online. His army has swelled to almost 20 people now. It's a bigger army now. And this is now down to Berlin. It's just Berlin. Liberation forces have now, completely closed in around the city. It's bad. And they are now, the gates of Berlin are being it is hardcore defense. They are not going to let Berlin fall without a fight. I wonder if I can actually make this. Can I do a 0.5? No, I can't do 0.5. It just goes down to 1. So, yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm going to real quickly give them back that land. Yeah, okay. So, we have Berlin. Okay, I think, yeah, this is really, the kind of borders of Berlin. So, now we have it very, officially kind of accurate. So, yeah, they don't manage to storm the gates of Berlin just yet. However, slight bits of the wall are torn down, and we have, some small kind of pushes being made into weak points. However, the wall is majority just reconstructed. However, we do have the kind of slow burn process into Berlin. This is kind of what's going on right now. However, they haven't stormed the main gate. Yeah, Jungos is still just Jungos is now, they were kind of rebirthed back into existence. And so now we have the slow fall of Berlin. However, finally the main gates of Berlin are stormed. They rush in and they take over all of the roads, the kind of Berlin road. And they link up with this front. They take over here, and now this is where the grand big tank is. So this is a tank. This is a few buildings over here. They managed to take over, and now Berlin has just been split by the roads. This is literally urban fighting. The tank over here literally blows the Liberation Army to shreds. They actually push Berlin back a tad bit. They connect this front small bit, and now they actually do, they make actually some slight pushback, I will say. They've now reduced it to just the core road. The road is literally now just a big fort at this point. That's all the road is. And yeah, it's going to probably stay this way for close to, I'd say, probably about a week, just urban fighting. However, we do have something bad happening. The tank can't turn directions. It's this big tank statue. It does work. Yep, the Liberation Army breaches the gates, storms in from over here, and yeah, Berlin, they still have the core territories, and because of that, they did manage to kind of liberate the roads. Yeah, that's literally just the roads. They now just controlled that. And this is where we see the final fall of Berlin. They take over the Berlin farm, and the Berlin farm completely falls, starving Berlin citizens. Majority of Berlin citizens, however, are extremely loyal. They are still continuing to fight. Liberation Army is slowly squeezing in, they are not having that much. They take over the villager kennel, which completely cuts off their supply line. And at this point, Germany, they are still urging their citizens to fight, but there's no hope. They push in, and now Germany's literally just been reduced to a few buildings and a road, and then they are knocked out. So just like that, do you think Germany would have won? I mean, I could have accepted a Germany, not winning. I could have accepted a Germany winning. I really could have accepted either or. But this is honestly what I think would have happened. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the peace treaty real quick. You can't have one of these videos without the peace treaty. Oh, man. Alright, okay, so I need to go to downloads. Yeah, here it is. Alright, okay. So we're going to go back to the old this is what the map looked like before. Like, look how much it's changed quite a bit. So yeah, we're gonna now take a look at the peace treaty. So, Snowland, we're just gonna make them. We're just gonna make Snowland solid blue because they kind of look good rocking that blue. So Snowland gains independence. Oh yeah, Jungo's, never mind. You got the T. On my time to visit. Yeah, like they were both in the afterlife, and Jungo's is just like, uh-oh, now I'm getting sent kind of back down to the realm of the living. Alright, okay, so the BDR and Poland, they kind of finally resolved their disputes, and we have a greater cooperation and alliance between the majority of the West. Like, the West is now in, like, greater cooperation. Yeah, I love that movie. But now we still haven't looked at the peace treaty, alright? So this peace treaty is going to look god-awful. Like, the borders are going to look awful. So if you want to see disgusting borders, stick around. But yeah, we have Fallen gaining quite a bit of territory out of this. Like, quite a bit of this. And so, yeah, we're going to have to erase their kind of... Yeah, we're going to have to erase this. Oh, man. And so, yeah, now we're just going to do the recolor. Oh, man, dear Lord. So, Fallen was like a color picker. Yeah, there we go. So, Fallen was like a mint green. It kind of had an odd color. So, we're just going to... Yep, Fallen moves in. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's like all red. Hold on. You know, instead, never mind. I'll just give them paint buckets. So, yeah. Oh, boy. Fallen moves in. And yeah, this is the Fallen Treaty. Fallen never had access to the sea. Now they have access to the sea. Now they're big and chunky. And now that old Fallen government that, like, barely even worked and existed, that's there. It's not there anymore. So yeah. We also, on top of this too, Vendaya, they get quite a bit of land out of this actually too. So Vendaya gains these kind of islands. Oh boy, wow. I don't know why that red lingering effect's there. Linsvagia and Planetara, they also agree to unite with them. And so I'm going to just try and... Wait, can I just do this? Hold on. There's like this thing you can do. I'm trying to see if I can just... Alright, did that affect the world too much? I don't... Yeah, no, it didn't. Yeah, there was like this thing. It'll like color in all of the, all of that color pixel. I didn't know if there's any like white things still done. Alright, okay, so yeah. Vendaya, like, they got quite a bit, and the Soviet Union even agreed to give them this. However, they did pay the Soviet Union, like, quite a bit of money. But Vendaya now has a kind of Eastern Empire. And so, yeah, this is pretty good for Vendaya. But now, let's look at Germany. Germany is not going to be in a good state, alright? Especially, too, Jungos. Jungos was kind of a hee-hee-ha-ha moment. You see... Despite Jungos not... I mean, Jungos, they border Germany, like, a lot. So, Jungos is going to get quite a bit of territory out of this as well. Like, a lot of territory. Like, at this point, it's just like... Dang. So, yeah, we're going to get the color picker right here. Tool. And then we're going to go to recolor. So, yeah. Jungos, I mean, they really did They really did Germany dirty. That's the best way to put it. Like, wow. Germany, they didn't know they were going to get this screwed, but this isn't what I would... Okay, like, I wouldn't consider this natural German territory. This was more of, like, a result of, whatchamacallit, a fallen... Wait, don't I need anti-aliasing around? So, okay, yeah, I don't need it enabled, hold on. Yeah, so yeah, they basically gain, this kind of stuff, and I'm gonna be like this, like their Mesa territory literally only happened because of like an empire that just literally the leader quit and they just kind of annexed it. Like, it wasn't even really like a war. Like, it wasn't really natural German territory. Like, that's what it wasn't really all like. That's kind of really the only way to put it. It's like Germany, I want to consider that to be rightful German territory. This is more of like, we're now getting into the kind of the external, like, this is just what they kind of took from imperialism. And say, whoop, Jungo's getting land, never thought that would happen. Yeah, I mean, despite everything though, I mean, Jungos, they did fight quite a bit. And Jungos, I mean, mainly though, the Allies, they are like, you know, kind of benefiting Jungos, surprisingly. Because they did use Jungo's territory quite a bit. to, you know, roll up their soldiers and kind of do all that. Okay, so yeah, oh, hold on, I need, it's 3, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I need to make this brush pretty small. So yeah, Jungos gains this, and we also have, something interesting happening as well. So we kind of have a, like, you could say, like, socialist, I mean, kind of like communist, whatever you want to call it, like Mesa state rising up out of its ashes. I don't even know what you would call this, but the socialists, I don't know why I'm going to give them this long panhandle, but they fought in the war, and the Purple Army, or the kind of socialist army, they do get some representation here. And the Allies agree, you know, oh, well, fine, I guess we'll give you some territory. Oh, man. Wow, that's, hold on, yeah, I don't want it to be the same color as Khalsa, actually. I'll make them, is there any, wait, did I even make any country, like, nah. Oh my god, this is actually making me so mad, like, this little itty bits of, like, I know it doesn't really matter that much, but I do want it to look good somewhat. Dang. Jungles is basically everyone's wood supply. I hate that. Yeah, I mean, even now, like, I bet you when you make your country, too, if you're going to make it in a jungle, it's still probably going to be that. But, yeah, on the old server, I really did hate that Jungos was everyone's wood supply. It did make it pretty bad, but now Jungos is also going to have Mesa, so it's going to be everyone's gold supply. Whoopee. Be everyone's terracotta and gold supply now. They're just going to... Yeah, Jungos was just exploited because they didn't have, like, a military. They couldn't stand up for themselves, basically. Like, that was literally the only reason. Like, if I'm gonna be honest. Alright, okay, so yeah. The socialists, they get their independence, and we also do have another interesting thing happening as well over here. Russia and, you know, Khalsa, they fought hard in the war. Like, they really did fight hard. And so, they're both kind of just like, hey, you know, be like really crazy? If we were to unionize, wow. So they form a union, and Poland also agrees to give them, like, the world is, like, actually slowly starting to be more united. They're still scarred from this war because this was something that was just like wow, like, it's still just no one really got over it. So yeah, we're gonna have, oh boy, well, no, I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna have to make this brush. I hate this, like, kind of brush size. Oh man. Alright, okay, so yeah. And Khalsa gets that. Alright, so yeah, that is what Khalsa gets. Khalsa finally, but Khalsa is not restored to its full territory. Because here's the thing, they gave up this northern land, like, willingly, so they aren't gonna get that back in the peace treaty. So in the peace treaty, sadly, they don't get that back. However, they do get the majority of their like, original territory back. And, you know, they're fine with that. Like, they like that. But yeah, now we do have Germany. They are finally actually going to form a new country. See, now, the Purple Army, like, actually finally won. And now this is a communist Germany. Now, this is probably, you know, Soviet-sponsored as well. But yeah, so this is now the communist Germany. They popped up. And over here, so what are we going to do with all this land? This is just a heaping mess right now. But yeah, Germany, oh, you know, I just realized something. Germany is starting all the wars, like, in IRL and in the game. Like, it's a kind of, not funny, but that's just, like, a dangerous kind of, now that I'm starting to realize that, like, oh my. Yeah, okay, so let's see. What color should I use for this one? I think I just use pink. Well, yeah, I'll probably just, yeah, okay. Is there any country? No, there's no country using that exact color, I don't think. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. CNC Empire finally gets their independence, and now we're just left with this blob over here. This is just the Mesa states. So, basically, all countries that, like... Oh, wait, no, they're not a part of Oceron. So, all countries that either wanted independence, like, couldn't get independence. It really depends. Like... A majority of the Purple Army that didn't necessarily get exactly what they wanted came over here and here. I'm going to real quickly change their color. Well, no, I don't want it to be that. Like, I want it to be, Yeah, Yeah, we could just make it that. So yeah, the majority of the Purple Army that just didn't get what they wanted, they got that. And so yeah, now this is what the peace treaty is gonna look like. Basilisk, they didn't gain anything as well. They still exist. That's what they get. But the majority of the allies, I do want you to know, these zones are probably gonna be occupied, and a lot of these villagers are probably just gonna be stolen and like sent back and sent to the Soviet Union and Poland. But now, off the bat of this war, I mean, now we have a kind of northern Cold War. Because actually, like, how would you guys want to, like, wait, would you guys want to see, like, a continuation to this series? Like, I could actually, like, okay, I could make, like a future world borders of the server. Like, have like, an alt history scenario that just continues going. Like, it's just, like, a constant stream. Yeah, the youngest brother, but treated badly. Yeah, like, I could do that. Like, I might start it from a different, like, I don't know if I'd start it from this timeline exactly. But yeah, so if we're going to look at this, we have a Northern Cold War. Because we have the socialists, I mean, they were kind of did dirty. They wanted independence, but they wanted, like, the Mesa to be fully united. And sadly, the Mesa kind of didn't get that. And so the socialists are now mad. They are going to invade. They're thinking about invading this new kind of northern green Mesa state. And so this green northern Mesa state, there's not much up here. And so we could see, who knows, the socialists and these kind of Germans, we could see a literal new German union pop out of this. Because think about it. These two are communists, right? So the communists might actually form a union so they can bulk up and defend themselves. You know, really, they could beat Jungos in a war. Like, they could just get their old territory back. They could maybe even invade Kolsa to get Russia. Like, I could genuinely see, like a Neo-Germany just popping out of this. But yeah, so Pietrusta and his followers, where do they go? Well, they still want to exist, and you're right, they do. A lot of islands weren't specified in the treaty, so yeah. Oh wait, bro, why is the BDR black? Like, it's solid, but what in the world, bro? The BDR is just like literally solid black. Oh my gosh, like I didn't want them to be that, like, what? Yeah, like, dear Lord, alright, okay, so yeah, no, I think they were, no, they were that color. Yeah, that's what they were. So yeah, Germany still gets to exist. Like, the German Empire, the German Austrian Empire, Drugland, it still exists. It owns various, like, kind of various islands around the world, and it still technically exists. It tries to join, okay, so it tries to basically get the socialists to, like, join them. It's trying to do stuff, but, like, they're virtually ignored. Like, no one cares about them anymore. They've lost all popularity. They've lost all relevancy, in a way. And they're very unpopular. And these countries are also thinking about invading them. But here's the thing. Many of these loyalists still fled to these islands. This is a very powerful country, like 20-plus members. So, this new fractured Germany, while they do have to worry about each other, they also have to worry about the Germans, like these still Germans invading. And who knows, we could see a rise and return of the German Empire. But down in the south, I mean, these guys, they got a ton of money from the end of the war. And so they're pretty satisfied. I mean, we could see just more peace, more building. Really, I honestly see these guys just being a lot more chill, while these guys are just going to start, like, trying to kill each other. So yeah. That does conclude this series, however. I am going to... Oh, boy. So, yeah, I wonder, is there a way to save? Okay, so we're going to save. Do you want to replace it? No, just save to. No, I don't want to replace it. Like, can I not just, like, save, like... Okay, can I just do, like, 6 or something? Yeah, like, okay, that is so weird. It's just the name. So, yeah. I might, yeah, that was a great movie. So yeah, it depends on what you guys would want. Would you guys, like, necessarily want me to continue down this timeline? Would you guys want me to, like, go down a future, like, this would be, like, a more, like, alt timeline? Because this is just supposed to be, like, one war scenario. And this did result in, like, a World War II. But it really depends on what you guys want to see. Like, would you guys, I might hold it up to a vote. Like, would we continue this series with, like, this timeline, or would we continue this series, like, from a different start? Yeah, we could even do a series like, what if countries formed empires? Like, we could do, like, what if Jungos formed an empire? What if the Soviet Union? But, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that stream. I'm tired. I'm going to go and go to bed. This is my stream for Sunday. I know I didn't technically stream this on Sunday, but it's close enough anyways. It's Sunday for people living in Hawaii, I think. Yeah, no. So, anyways, I'll go and see you guys in the next video, or in the next stream, sorry. Peace out.